you had your pension pot today, what would you do with it?
Put it in property.
In property?
Yeah.
And the last question is, what do you think of the pension industry?
Convoluted.
What do you think of the pension industry?
I think it needs reform.
And what could you think they could do to improve it?
Keep it consistent for about 20 years.
So what does this say to us? Well, we need to understand biases. We need to understand decision making. We need to understand preferences. We need to get under the bonnet, if you like, of how people are making decisions.
Freedom and choices aren't necessarily going to be available on all pension products, so some people will have to transfer from one pension to another in order to access them. So people get really fed up with that.
Most people think that in general terms, in the abstract, consumers having more choice, more freedom when they approach retirement is a good thing. What a good outcome is will vary for every individual.
Well, the South African department brought in a 20% cap initially, so you couldn't take more than 20% per annum. This would be on the annual anniversary of the policy, but so that would protect you from yourselves, because we want to give you freedom, but we want to protect you from doing something stupid.
Before I joined, I thought it was 100, 150. It's 14,000 is the average VCT check we receive. The reality is, and I'm always at pains to point this out, clients investing and writing a check today for an EIS will probably not get their hands on that money physically for perhaps close to 4 years, maybe even longer in some circumstances.
I don't know what's going to happen after April 2015. I've no idea whatsoever. We've talked about customer behaviour, we've talked about lots of different things, but if there's one thing I've learned in 25 years doing this, so now I can say this is the biggest change in a generation, is that there is now as queer as folk.
Here to give you a perspective from the customer's point of view, and this removal of that huge penalty for anyone who actually had money left in their pension when they did pass away suddenly means you can rethink everything you used to think about pensions.
Why are you not putting the same level of effort into trying to shut down scam companies, scam websites, for example?
We spend a lot of time looking at how people are working outside of the scope of FCA regulation. But part of what we need at the FCA is the intelligence from people who see them when they're working in the field.
The fees are paid by employers, therefore they can get into liability-driven investment strategies, etc., de-risking and so on. And I really struggle with the fact is we end up with this market being price capped when we're really talking about short-term home to release a bit of money within a tax-efficient manner.
The idea of mass market drawdown has many different connotations. If it's the kind of product where you just want it to stay invested for the long run, that's different from a mass market drawdown where you were describing people just want to keep taking the money out.